Welcome to the show. Sorry that's a couple days late. I got ill, couldn't speak, but here I am, and I'm glad you're here with me. Today's topic is using the violet flame. I've been very anxious to share this with you, so I'm glad I finally was able to. Before I get started with that, I want to say a special hello to my listeners in Dublin, Leinster, and Ireland. Very excited to have you here. Very excited. So I see you on my stats week after week. And if there's ever a topic you're interested in hearing about, just let me know. Let's jump into this because there's a lot to talk about regarding the violet flame. What is the violet flame? I'm going to show you this book first. And those of you who are not watching, it's a little purple book called Violet Flame. And the author is Elizabeth Clare Prophet. And this book is available on Amazon. Most bookstores have it. Many libraries carry it. I recommend you get a copy for yourself because you want to use it again and again. So the violet flame is a threefold flame that's gold, pink, and blue light. And the pink is the pure feminine ray, which is crystalline pink. And the qualities of that are pure, unconditional, divine love, nurturance, compassion, adoration, and reverence for all life. The pure divine masculine ray of energy is the sapphire blue within it, and it relates to the desire, inner resolve, power, and will to follow God's will. It also carries our ability to have leadership over ourselves. When the divine feminine and divine masculine rays of energy are merged and balanced within of us, our higher centers and Christ consciousness, which is the gold ray of energy, is awakened. So the gold flame embodies wisdom, discrimination, and illumination. When all three of these flames are balanced within us, love balances power and wisdom, blends with love, and the violet flame of forgiveness and transmutation is activated within us. I have found it to be extremely powerful. It was introduced to me by one of my spiritual teachers, and I got the book and I read it because I'm a big reader, and I started doing the decrees in the back of the book. So you're going to see this little sticky note I have here. That's where the decrees start, and the whole front of it is the history of it, explaining that it has to do with Saint Germain and the story behind it and the purpose of it. And I just want to talk a little bit about that before we get into the decrees themselves. What does the violet flame do? Well, it uplifts your energy field. So if you're looking to raise your frequency, this is a fantastic way to do it. With violet flame meditation, you can consciously access powerful fifth dimensional frequencies, and that dissolves lifetimes of unresolved, unhealed energies with love and light. And it's crucial to each of us as individuals and for humanity as a whole, especially at this specific time on our planet. The distillation of all experiences we've ever had in any lifetime or dimension is still in our individual and group energy field, and that's both positive and negative experiences. Until that dense energy is transmuted into love and light, we, both individuals and as a race, we suffer from the resulting chaos and negativity that we've experienced for eons on this planet. The next thing it can do is shift us to the fifth dimension. The power of violet flame meditation comes from that which can be described as the fifth dimension, which is unity consciousness, transcending the ego-based ideas of separation that we've lived in the third dimension for eons. The fifth dimension is the ever-present now. So you've heard of that, the power of now. Well, it is a real thing. We become aware of the reality of being. When we shift attention to this moment right now, we are free of the illusion of time and space as being fixed realities. They are perceived as the fluidity that they truly are. Space and distance are also seen as illusions. In the fifth dimension, we are always connected to those we love, no matter where they appear to be. Furthermore, we see we are all energetically connected as one being, and the earth we live on is a co-creation of our group consciousness, including animals and non-sentient life. Third thing is opens us to greater awareness. Violet flame meditation can greatly assist us in making the transition from a fear-based life to a unity-based life. You want peace on earth? Here's a great way to achieve it. No matter how intense things look on our lives and in our world, we can keep bringing attention back here now to the truth of being. There are various portals to help us do this, such as using the white light, the violet flame of love, and the miracle of forgiveness healing to release old concepts and beliefs that obscure the light. Whenever we choose the light of truth in our own lives, the light and well-being of the entire planet and human race expands. You work on yourself, you're helping the whole planet. No matter how far we think we've turned from the light of reality, once we turn our attention back to it and choose love and forgiveness, we are enfolded in its healing embrace. And something I want you to know is things might look worse, but they're actually getting better in the world. The extent to which we hold onto old structures and concepts of separation correlates directly to the extent of the fear, anxiety, and stress we are feeling. As we open into expanded awareness, uplifting energies continue to pour into this plane at an accelerating rate. These energies bring to the surface all that is within us of a lower vibration that needs to be healed, giving us the opportunity to see what we've been holding on to that no longer serves us so that we can let it go. Because of this exposure of the negativity for healing, it can look like things are getting much worse on our planet and in our individual lives. However, this is far from the case. We are actually in the midst of a group awakening into the oneness we truly are. So I want to talk a little bit about Saint Germain. I mentioned to you earlier that he's very much associated with a violet flame. Saint Germain is an ascended master who has long been associated with a violet flame. You can call on his assistance as you practice the violet flame meditation and the decrees. There are thousands of ascended masters currently supporting the earth and those of us who live here. They are beings of light who have learned the lessons of our third dimensional existence and have ascended to a higher state of consciousness. Along with many other ascended masters, Saint Germain has been preparing us to transition from the age of Pisces, which is third dimension, to the age of Aquarius, which is fifth dimension. This is beginning an era of peace, freedom, and enlightenment, and who doesn't want more of that? So how the violet flame meditation works. At the core of every single electron of energy, even a negatively charged electron, is the divine aspect of pure being. When the violet flame is consciously blazed through any electron of energy, it awakens the pure spark of divinity within it, which then burns up the outer negativity and transmutes that electron back to its original state of pure love. So during violet flame meditation, I experience the violet flame as infinite love, forgiveness, tenderness, and freedom. When we call it forth with the intention of forgiveness and healing, it bursts as a flame within our hearts. When we consciously direct it into a situation, it blazes through it with a loving force so undeniable that everything in its path has no choice but to resonate with its love. The violet flame permeates every cell and atom of our bodies, our minds, our emotions, the memories, subconscious, and even the spirit. It transmutes anything negative that is lodged anywhere in our spiritual or physical being, raising it to a high vibration of love and light. So before we get into the decrees themselves, I want to tell you of some things you can do to prepare to say them, to make them most effective, to get the best benefit for yourself. Number one, sit in a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, and sit comfortably with your spine straight and your arms and legs uncrossed. That's always the best way. And with any kind of meditation, place your feet flat on the floor and you can rest your hands on your lap. Number two, breathe in love or white light through your heart center. Just breathe it in and visualize that white light coming right into your heart chakra. Do this several times until you can feel that love building in your heart chakra. This method is most effective when you feel truly devoted to love and forgiveness. If you can't quite get there, try thinking of someone who was kind to you in your life. Go to that memory, that moment of kindness, and relax into the warm energy that person showed you. Take your time with this. When you begin to feel a softening within and an opening, then breathe that kindness to someone else silently. This will gently open your heart center. Number 3, to begin violet flame meditation, you can start with something simple like, I am a violet flame of love and forgiveness. Slowly repeat this several times out loud and tune into your feelings and the perceptions you receive as you do it. It is much more powerful to speak out loud than to do silently. Remember to keep a loving, forgiving perspective or be willing to have that perspective. If you wish, you can keep repeating that simple phrase over and over again, even hundreds of times. Repeating a decree points your attention ever more deeply into the light. So with that, I'm going to jump to some decrees. And I can't put, I always write about what I talk about on the show. I'll write about on my website and have a link to the podcast. But some things I can't put on my blog because it's copyrighted. And this is one of them. So that's why I say get a copy of this book for yourself. But going all the way back to page 89, where it says decrees and visualizations. The very first one is one I use every time I do mediumship, when I am creating sacred space for any reason, usually mediumship, whether it's spirit or angels. So I want to create a holy, sacred space. And my intention when I do this, it's called Tube of Light. I actually see circles of angels coming in. That's my intention. I'm thinking it, I'm visualizing it, and I always feel them coming in. The room just gets crowded with angelic energy. So I'm going to tell you this one because it's an important one. Beloved, I am presence bright. Round me seal your tube of light. From ascended master flame called forth now in God's own name. Let it keep my temple free from all discord sent to me. I am calling forth violet fire to blaze and transmute all desire, keeping on in freedom's name till I am one with a violet flame. You will say this 3 times, and it's important. Take your time. Say it with passion. Say it with feeling. Really get into the emotion of it. Sometimes I need to say it 3 times to feel the level of angelic protection around myself and a client that is necessary to do protected work. Sometimes 1 time is plenty. And often when I do this, just this one decree, I will see a purple doorway, a violet doorway open up between me and my client. And that is the doorway spirit or angels come through to communicate. Maybe you'll see that, maybe you won't. Every person's different and our gifts are different, our experiences can be different. So that's a really powerful one that you would use just for whatever you want. You can use it just for pure protection. There's a really short one here I think is really good to use as the simple one, just to kind of say it over and over till you kind of get into a zone. And it's, I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. I can remember being, this was probably 13 years ago, I was living down in the Phoenix area in Cave Creek, and I was in physical therapy, and I had to go hours a week, and I would sit on the equipment, and I was saying this over and over. So the whole time I was on equipment, I'm saying this over and over, and I'd really get into that zone. And during that time, like I noticed like my frequency going up and things really clearing for me and my gifts improving. So I can't recommend that one enough. It is important, like what the decree means depends on your intentions. So you can decide, and there's some in here that are specifically for helping other people. This is a great one. Page 93, if you have this book. And it's lovely God presence. I am in me. Hear me now, I do decree. Bring to pass each blessing for which I call upon the holy Christ self of each and all. Let violet fire freedom roll round the world to make all whole. Saturate the earth and its people too, with increasing Christ radiance shining through. I am this action from God above, sustained by the hand of heaven's love, transmuting the causes of discord here, removing the cords so that none do fear. I am, I am, I am. The full power of freedom's love, raising all earth to heaven above. Violet fire now blazing bright, in living beauty is God's own light, which right now and forever sets the world, myself, and all life eternally free in ascended master perfection. Almighty I am, almighty I am, almighty I am. I love that one. Whenever I start fretting about things in the world, the war in Ukraine and the horrors people are going through in that country and other countries, I will sit down and just think of that country, those people, that situation, and I will just target all this energy to them, to the situation. And then here's another really great one. I love this one. It's Violet Flame Is. It's on page 96 if you have this book. Breath of God inside each cell. I am the violet flame. Pulsing out the cosmic time. I am the violet flame. Energizing mind and heart. I am the violet flame. Sustaining God's creation now. I am the violet flame. With all love, with all love, with all love. Shimmering in a crystal cave. I am the violet flame. Searching out all hidden pain, I am the violet flame. Consuming cause and core of pain, of fear, I am the violet flame. Revealing now the inner name, I am the violet flame. With all peace, with all peace, with all peace. Flashing like a lightning bolt, I am the violet flame. Stretching through the galaxies, I am the violet flame. Connecting soul and spirit now, I am the violet flame. Raising you to cosmic heights, I am the violet flame. With all power, with all power, with all power. I actually do this one for the world as a whole. And I see it as I'm doing this, I visualize this just white Christ light surrounding the planet, permeating all of us, easing our fear, easing all of our anxiety, easing our anger, bringing us to a place of peace and understanding, compassion and love. And I like to do that and just see it just like connecting your soul with your body in this lifetime, like you are so much more than this. So it's really about tapping into the power of your soul, your higher self. There's another one in here that's a really nice, it's called Radiant Spiral Violet Flame. And this is one I think is really good. I don't know why, it's just me. I mean, do what you want with these, but I've come to a place where I usually use this for a specific person or situation. And I think about them and I tune in and I'm sending this out to them in the situation. It's called Radiant, Radiant Spiral Violet Flame. Radiant spiral violet flame, descend, now blaze through me. Radiant spiral violet flame, set free, set free, set free. Radiant violet flame, oh come, expand and blaze thy light through me. Radiant violet flame, oh come, reveal God's power for all to see. Radiant violet flame, oh come, awake the earth and set it free. Radiance of the violet flame, expand and blaze through me. Radiance of the violet flame, expand for all to see. Radiance of the violet flame, establish mercy's outpost here. Radiance of the violet flame, come, transmute now all fear. I want to tell you, like, I've even used that, like when I know someone's in a situation like a bad toxic relationship and they're really not ready to save themselves, get out of it, make a change. I send this to them just to help them clear their thoughts, to help calm the situation, to help them understand what's happening and make a good decision to do what's best in their best and highest good, just to help them, to give them strength in many situations. That's just one example. And something I think I kind of stumbled upon. Let me take a quick sip of water. Something I kind of stumbled on with using the violet flame. If you're having a bad day, just a really bad day, you're in a feeling really sad, you're out of sorts, you're shook up, you're upset, whatever it is, I don't know. I think my angels just were the ones who said, get your violet flame book. And I remember sitting on the edge of my bed and they're like, read a violet flame decree. And then they're like, do the next one, do the next one. And they told me to do it 3 times. So I went through the whole back section, this whole little section of decrees here, reading each one of them 3 times. And about halfway through, I started feeling a big difference. And by the time I was done, I was at peace. I felt fine. I felt totally differently about my day and what had happened. It was sort of like stepping away emotionally from what had occurred and being in a place where I was at peace with it. And I no longer felt all shook up. So if you're having a bad day, a rough day, give yourself the gift of 40, it takes about 45 minutes to do all of them 3 times. Remember, don't rush through them and say them with passion. Put the feelings in there. It makes a difference. I told you that I was going to share a couple with you that are not in the book. And actually the one I really wanted, I couldn't find. I'm going to find it after the show, you can bet. I tucked it away somewhere, but I did go online and I found a couple I really like. There's all kinds of these online that are not in the book that other people have received. And I found one that's by Patricia Diane Cota Robles, and I like it. I am my I am presence. I breathe light into my heart center. I am a temple of light. I call forth the full power of the violet flame of forgiveness to transmute the causes, core, effects, habits, records, and memories of every thought, feeling, word, or action I have ever expressed in any time frame or dimension, known or unknown, that reflects anything associated with, here's where you insert a specific. It could be poverty consciousness, victimhood, powerlessness, suffering, ill health, misuse of energy, misuse of power, self-hatred, whatever it is. With forgiveness and love as my intention, I blaze the violet flame through every atomic and subatomic particle and wave of precious life energy that has my signature on it, in any place and time that reflects anything less than the infinite perfection of God. I trust God to transmute every speck of my being on all levels into the highest love and light, health, and abundance. I ask my I am presence to fill this space with the golden light of God's infinite light, love, health, and abundance. In the name of my Creator, I accept this as accomplished, and so it is. So if you've been wanting to do some generational work, this is good, because this would be healing anything you've done in this lifetime and any other lifetime in any dimension. And it also goes back through your generations. So I think she wrote a really powerful one, and the angels like it too. I picked the ones the angels really gave the rubber stamp of approval to. This other one is by Elena Love. Beloved mighty I am presence. Beloved violet flame temple in the electronic belt around the physical sun, beloved angels of the violet consuming flame, surge the great invincible victorious violet consuming flame of the victorious comic Christ, the beloved mighty I am presence in the great central sun, in, through, and around me. Make me feel it flow through and fill this room, this city, this nation, and this world. Make me feel it fill everything in my affairs. I command it to purify and raise everybody and everything into the ascended master's perfection right now, this instant, and forever. I tend to really like the ones that are help the world. I do some to help myself. I do. I mean, if I'm struggling with something, I'll go in and pick one of these and I'll think, okay, I'm doing this to help me find forgiveness for this person or this situation, or help me move past this occurrence. You know, I mean, there's just a lot of things. I'm merely human. I have my flaws. I have my struggles like everybody else does. So you can go in here and find ones that are very clearly meant to be to help yourself, you know, things like guard, guard, guard us. If you're scared, I can remember being broken down. I live in Arizona, and there's a whole lot of long stretches of nothingness. And I was broken down in the middle of nowhere, no cell service, I didn't have tons of water. I always have water with me, but I didn't have tons, and I was very scared. And I had my Violet Flame book with me, thank goodness. And I pulled it out and I started this one: guard, guard, guard us by the lightning of thy love. And by the way, as I read this, I was seeing Archangel Michael coming in, Saint Germain, Jesus coming in and helping me. Guard, guard, guard us by thy great self above. Guard, guard, guard us by thy secret power of light. Guard, guard, guard us by thy great and glorious might, and seal us safe forever in thy diamond heart of light. I was said it over and over, and I was just really tapping into trust in God and my angels that I was going to have some help. And you know what? 2:30 in the morning, one car came out of the darkness. One car came through in this desert area, pulled over, and it was a woman. So I felt more safe about accepting help from her. And she was able to get my car started again. And she took off and was just gone. And I never saw her car again. I don't know if that was human or an angel, but I'll tell you what, I was one of the most relieved moments of my life, because that can be a real scary situation. Or even if you're home alone and you feel scared, whatever, if you're in a scary situation, there's plenty of people. I've been in two scary relationships myself, one where my life was in danger. And I didn't have the Violet Flame invocations at my disposal. Then I prayed and I asked my angels to save my daughter and they did. Here I am. Here she is, she's fine. But you have to use the tools at your disposal. I consider this to be a book you get and you keep, and you never get rid of it, because you're going to need it again and again and again. So one of the things I do, I've talked before about a spiritual discipline, and that's the things you do on a regular basis, whether it's morning, nighttime, but a regular basis that is purposely to help you in your spiritual growth. Violet Flame Invocations are one of mine, and it's a book I recommend to all of my students, my clients, that it pertains to, because there's something in here for everyone. And you don't have to be woo-woo to get the value out of this. If you believe in God, if you believe there's a higher power out there and you want to tap into that, I feel like this is a lovely way to do it. And they just feel really good and pure. I'm aware that Elizabeth Clare Prophet kind of had a downfall after she wrote this book, but that doesn't detract from the value of the decrees in this book and what they provide. Remember that they are for what you want them to be for. You are raising your frequency and you're clearing yourself, your energy, but you also can set a specific intention. You can send it to a loved one, to a friend, to a situation, to a place, to a war, whatever you want to do. And especially if you're feeling helpless about things going on in the world, do something like this. There's other things you can do too that can be more practical, but this is a spiritual thing that you can do, and it doesn't cost you more than buying this little book. When I first bought mine, it was $8 something. Now I think they're 15, something like that. Prices have gone up of everything, including the Violet Flame book. If you don't want to buy the book, just remember there's lots of Violet Flame invocations online, and find the ones that really strike you as powerful and ones that you can see yourself using. Reword them as you like, because these people have written their own. You can write your own too. I will be putting the last two that I found, and I'll be crediting the sources, of course, in my blog post about today's show on my website, which is ivoryangelicmedium.com. So if you want to see them, they'll be on there this week and you can read them. I want to thank you for being patient as I healed from my cold so that I could speak and not sound terrible. And I had some energy today, so I was relieved about that. Thank you for tuning in today. And if you want to know more about me and my services, visit my website. Again, it's ivoryangelicmedium.com. Next Sunday, I have a very special guest. My good friend Terri-Ann Russell is coming back on the show. She is got her second book out, which is really exciting. It's called Reaching for You, and it's about 12 transmissions she received from Mother Mary that you can, it's a workbook, and you go through the 12 transmissions. I've already done it. It's very powerful. I right away felt Mother Mary coming in, that familiar energy, and it's a beautiful thing. I think you'll get a lot out of it. So she'll be talking about how it felt to get those transmissions and what they're for, and her experiences, which will be really great. And that is next Sunday. In the meantime, may your angels surround you. May your angels protect you every moment, every day of your life. I'll see you next week.